I just woke and forgive all the noise next door. They were showing me so much. As soon as I woke, it came at me too fast. I had to get up first and get a drink before I could record, so this is going to be choppy. They were showing me 12 again. Like, we know there's more than 12 energies, but that's kind of how they were showing it, like 12 overarching, plus always the 13, which is always symbolic for so much, right? Like Jesus and his 12 disciples, 12 months in a calendar year, but 13th is Ophelius or something, I forget. And but then I always find it interesting. We go on a 12-hour clock and then 24, but 12 and 12. There was something else they were showing about this. There's something else about all that, but I don't recall it at the moment. And then, you know how it's always shouting the same story over and over, and all the movies, all the TV shows, all of life all follows these same seasons, these same patterns, it's all over all the time. It's just, we've talked about this many times, but it's like the more, you know how I've also shared it with you, it is like he's hollering down from the ethers as if he's a he, but the highest energy, and it gets filtered down throughout the different energies till it reaches you depending on what level you're on. And so it's like if you can hear clearly and do beautiful art with that, it's kind of like that's the thing that will get more and more attention, right? And so then that gives it more manifesting power. So the more eyes that are on it, the more thought that's given to it, the more that it's seen and it's utilized in all those ways, right? For everything. So just take your favorite, let's just say a favorite show you like to watch, right? As you're watching it, you have no idea how much you're taking in. You're taking in so much symbolism and so much background and so much patterns and noise and extra and side comments and jokes and stuff that you don't even see and hear that is likely subliminal throughout the entire thing. I mean, it's overlapping and at the same time screaming in your face nonstop. So you really don't recognize how much you've picked up and how much you're influenced by it. And then you're also amazed when, if you're in tune enough, how you'll start to see it play out in real life. And you're like, oh my God, they knew, right? But it's the same patterns everywhere, and it's the same storyline everywhere. And again, it's back to, the more people that are giving any one thing attention, good, bad, or indifferent, it's irrelevant. It's any thought on the matter is helping it to manifest. And oh God, there was just so much about all of this coming through. And then they it's like played a clip in my mind that I had seen. They had taken me to, I think yesterday or the day before, of a very famous actor. And everybody in the world knows this guy's name. And he definitely is still very egotistical, but he would like to claim he's not, definitely. He would like to claim that he's yes and no, but he definitely, to the naked eye, anybody can see his arrogance, although he doesn't, he sees it as confidence for sure. And as I was listening to him, he always tends to have something good to say. And I said good, not wise. He has something good to say. Because that's how it always feels to me. It always feels just off. And this clip was what clarified it for me when they had me watch this, where he knows the right thing to say, as so many people do, right? But it was interesting how they showed it and who they showed, and the fact that he's an actor. And that he's read so much and he's been exposed to so much and he's been influenced by so much. Again, not even knowing it. And he has literally just become a regurgitator and a robot. And even in his waking days, in his non-acting times, right, when he wasn't performing and he was just having an offhand interview, he was still a robot, right? I want to say he believed what he was saying, but what the truth was is he thought he believed what he was saying. He thought he was saying what he believed, but he wasn't. He was simply a robot. He was simply a regurgitator. He was simply inputted with that information enough times and in enough ways to make his ego get very large and to think he knows and that he's better and that he can teach others, right? Like, it was very obnoxious. And again, to the regular eye, if anybody saw that, honestly, I think the majority of people would be like, God, he's really wise, or he's really smart, or that's a really how. But it was not. And this is what's happening all over the board. And I think people are seeing it more and more. I think that veil is being lifted more and more, where people are recognizing that the majority of people are regurgitators and robots, but are wildly unaware of this. And when we are unaware of it, right? Like when we go into autopilot, we're in autopilot. We've let go, we've relaxed, whatever. And it depends on what your default setting is, So taking it back to the 12 energies, which is way more than that, but that's just how they were showing it. It's kind of like, that's what takes over. It's like it's really 12 or 13 people that are really playing this pawn and chess game, and they're, say it's this 13, right? 12 plus 1, that is running the show. So, number 12 has seeped into 80% and 11 into 5% and so on and so forth up the chain. And so they all run around not realizing they're robots for energy 12, and the other energy for robots for energy 11, 10, 9, 8, so forth and so on. And it's like they have to fight their way up if they don't like where they're at. Otherwise, they're just another pawn. And that's how they're seen as well. It's just, discarded then and treated as such. And then they showed flickering everywhere, like there was flickering. And so I think they were saying like there's bright stars or shining people throughout the world, right? Like those filled up with the most truth, the most light, shine the brightest. Something like this idea, right? Like the purest, this idea. And that they are surrounded by a lot of darkness because light attracts the dark, but usually for the wrong reasons. And in other words, they're attracted to the light not to per se embody itself. I mean, although they want to like steal and take that light, they like it, they want to capture it, control it, be in charge, like all this nonsense that's heathens think like that. But that's, I'm trying to get it out. It's kind of what they were showing, and it's kind of what, it's that idea. And they did show it like, I forgive the words here because it's hard to verbalize what they're showing. It's like they would crack one open and it would sprinkle all this like fairy dust of light over so many, and they loved it. And they thought they had captured it or created it or gotten it or embodied it, all these things. But in doing so, they also it's like took out the source, because it then dries up. And then, but they're so short-sighted. It's like that idea of selfish and greedy, those lowest energies, right? And so that, energy 12, the selfish, lowest energy, that greedy, selfish, whatever, take, steal, they're not independent thinkers, and they're not able to see far down the road. They just know that instant. So it's like they do it every time because they just keep operating from the ego and the less than. And so it kept showing like smash it, grab it, take it. It's like the idea of destroying it, but it's not. It's the wrong word, because it's like they consume it. They smash it and then consume it. It's like they sprinkle it all over so many, and they're all so excited, and they all do. It's like light up more for a little bit. They grow a little bit more for a little bit. They feel better for a little bit. It's kind of like an addiction, right? Because that's what then they end up showing, then looking and searching and hunting out the next, because it is the idea they had to get their fix, because they don't, it's like they're just, forgive me, like stupid, right? Like they're heathens. Like they can't comprehend that, or maybe they can, that they have to do it themselves to make it sustainable. Maybe they can. Maybe they're like, oh, no, I get it, but that's a tremendous amount of work that they likely wouldn't get through in one lifetime, because it's like a sea of black, right? It's just dark. It's dense, heavy, thick energy. And so it's like it's almost like it's aware that it's even a heathen, but it's such a heathen that it's like hopeless too. I don't know. I don't know what all the right words are for all this. So I guess some are darker than others, and just are not like aware, but it does seem like the majority are also just not. So I don't know. I don't know what that message is or what that means. But again, it was short-sighted and just selfish and greedy and hoarding, but then addicted, and it was like a perpetual cycle of awfulness. Okay, so there's all that. What was the other thing was, it was like, once you see, you can't unsee. It was a lot of that, and that idea, and I always find that to be so true. You've heard me say that many a times, where ignorance is bliss, or this or that, right? Because when you've been innocent or pure, or I guess we're always able to see the silver lining, or live in the clouds, or the bubble, or the fantasy, or whatever, it feels blissful. But when you become aware of other things, and then they force you to become aware, and then it's like show you more, I guess it's just the idea of it just makes it that much more challenging to not put your head back up in the clouds in the fantasy, so you're no longer naive, but to be able to rise above it, to see it from the highest vantage point, but now knowing. I don't know how else to say that. It's like, now knowing what you know, can you still, it's not forgive, but kind of, now that you, yeah, kind of, maybe it is forgive. Now that you know all that you know, are you still able, yeah, maybe they are saying forgive, because you float up, because when you can float up, when you float up to that highest vibration, everything, of course, is. You've forgiven yourself. It just feels like it's like nothingness. It's weightlessness. It's light. It's bright. It's airy. It's free. It's clean. It's pure. It's like above all the toxins, above all the pollutants. It's above all of it. But so then, when you can breathe so cleanly and so clearly and so purely, when you're so free of all the muddled mess, and it's like you're floating out above the outermost layer, like you're out above all of that. I don't want to say you don't care, but it is kind of like that. It's kind of like you don't care, because What is it? Do you not care because you're out above it all? You've already been through it all. You had to fight to get to where you're at. You already understand all that. You don't need to discuss it. You already went through it all. But you also recognize the beauty in it all and the game of it all and appreciation of it all and the fascination of it all and the wonkiness of it all and the fucked up, like it's, you see it all and you understand it all and you appreciate it all and you don't care, like you don't want to hear about it anymore. You don't want to partake in that drama. You don't want to partake in the bickering. You don't want to, but at the same time, it's because you just feel so light and free and blissful and at peace. And it's like your fuss and fight and struggle and whatever is over. It's like, it's for the birds. The rest of it's for the birds, right? Like it's the idea of like you're leaving it all behind. It's like you fought for it for so long until you do kind of laugh at it like, why am I participating in this drama, this hell, this... It's like you're just participating as a pawn without even recognizing the pawn you are. When you continue to partake, it is what it is. It's like you... Yeah, it's like you don't want to keep getting re-ensnarled in people's debates and arguments to rope you back into the drama. It's like everybody has to go through that, where they release themselves from all the ties and lies, confusion, delusion, the pain, the suffering, the mental anguish, it's like they have to free their mind from all those less than limiting beliefs, ties and lies, keeping them bound and stuck and chained to that realm. I guess maybe they were also showing it's back to the idea of which, I find to be true. It's like, what is more important? We do love the drama. That's why we always get back into it. But it's like when you love your peace more, there's so much you give up. There's so much you leave behind when you're like, you just don't have it in you anymore. You're just like, I don't have that interest in the drama or the fighting or the struggling or it's like people will strip you of so much stuff in hopes to keep you down or keep you there. And it's like, oh, you can have it. You can have it. No. My peace of mind, my independent thinking, my not being your regurgitator or robot or being stuck or suppressed or oppressed to make you feel like you're an inch of a man or a human at all. Nah, you can keep it all. It's like you just leave it all behind because you see what the real prize is. That bliss, that freedom, that ease, that peace of mind, you really can't put a price tag on it. But many do because they don't understand that, right? It's like it's slipping right there for them. And it's yes and no, and we could debate that, and I don't care to, but yeah. But that is the idea. It's like the getting roped into the... So yeah, that was the other thing. So there was so much between yesterday and today, and I just haven't recorded until now. They were having me float in that, which was so great because then I can just release and snip ties left, right, and center because I have no problem dropping them all. And when you're in that space, you really don't. You really have no problem just... And because you can see the little silly beliefs that are keeping you stuck that are silly, but it was more than that. It was something of interest. That's right. So they had me floating there, and it was just such peace and whatever. And you can see it all for what it is, and how comical it is, and how much of a shit show it is. It's not. It's in perfect harmony, but I just mean shit show in the fact that how many love to partake and play in the drama, but they don't realize they're just a pawn in the game, and that they don't even recognize the energy they're filled with and the role they're playing, and that it is, when you see it all from higher, like it really is like all these chickens running around with their heads chopped off. Like that's what I mean by a shit show. But when you zoom in, they have no idea they're chickens with their heads chopped off. None. Zilch. Like they really are partaking in it full on, very seriously, very intensely, and very much thinking they're in control. And that's why it's comical and it's such a shit show. And so anyway, they had me floating in that peace and that bliss and seeing all this. And really, sometimes they do have me laughing at the fact of this reality of how all this works. And me flickering between the two, recognizing all the times I'm a robot and how hysterical it is. Because we really think we know. And but then there was something that they said or caught my interest. They caught my interest in something, and so I did enjoy engaging with it. And I was like, oh, that's what it is. It's like we love it. We're floating in that peace, that bliss, that ease, that freedom, and then we do at times be like, oh, look at that shiny thing, right? Like we get excited or interested in some drama, in some debate, in some discussion, in some argument, in some play, in some blah, 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 and want to partake. It's, the ego getting roped back into the earthly realm, because in that you'll hear people say that it's like, oh, this is where it's at, or people, it's like, yeah, because all the souls enjoy that outermost layer and always here sending us love and light, and it's floating in that ease and peace and bliss. But then also recalling, enjoying the engagement, the drama, this and that. And so I was going to say we do get snarled or snagged back in at times. But it is also, once you understand that part of the game, it is more of a choice or an enjoyment of the of choosing your enjoyment, right? Engaging where you truly want to and disengaging, I was going to say everywhere else, but the majority of everything else it doesn't interest you like it once did. It's just not worth the time or the energy. All right, and there was something else they were showing. I was going to say, I think it's a medical symbol, or it's maybe it's a religious. Who the fuck knows? Or all these, but it was like a human, and then they lit the human up like a golden star, with its arms and its legs outward, and then the circle around it. Isn't that a medical symbol, or for the something? For the anatomy, I don't know. But that is funny, not funny, but true, how it's like, then you also think, oh, did I see that symbol somewhere recently, even though that's what they were showing me? And they should, see, that's the other thing. When they show me these things, it's very different than just flashes. It's like full-on scenes. It's like a movie that I watch continue to evolve. So it would be different if it was like just symbols or just flat pictures, but it's not. Nonetheless, I guess that's how one's mind does operate. I suppose, I don't know. Like I'm closing my eyes now and it's just doing a kaleidoscope of different things. Okay. Oh, that's funny, yeah. I think they were just showing me that that's two different ways they show me different things. One is me and one is them. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, can you tell them? I ended up staying up late last night. And when I say late, I was up to, I didn't even realize it. I think it was like 2 or maybe 2:30 before I went to sleep, which to me never ever happens. Never, ever, 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 ever. I go 10, 11 is very late for me. Very late for me. So 2:30 is like insanity. But I wasn't tired until then. And actually, even then, when I realized the time, I was like, holy shit, and went to bed. Otherwise, I would not have. I was still awake. And yet, the damn construction next door, they sometimes will start as early as 5 a.m., which I know technically I could call on them, but who needs more issues? But nonetheless, they started, of course, so fucking early. And you've probably heard them all throughout this. And so it also gives me a headache, not because of the noise, but because of the lack of sleep. And anyway, I did get up and start my day and even had coffee and everything. And the headache was just like, oh no, we're not, nope. Mm-mm. So I just went back to sleep and got up, and I'm still tired. So, and my eyes are closed even while I've been recording this whole thing. So, end up sitting down. I'm so tired. I usually walk around when I'm talking to you guys. So, hopefully it all came out. Hopefully it's all recorded. It might have stopped. And, I think I got it all right. We talked about 12 and the symbolism and the predictions and all this stuff, but it's all a pawn in the game. Did I tell you that part? Where they were showing how it's like, whoever picks up the most truth, like whoever's closest to God, it's like then that is what it's kind of like he'll make that get more attention on it to spread it the way he wants. It's like when number one, once it's spread, it's such. I don't know. I really got to jump off. I think I said all that, I hope. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.